Okay. So I think with this edge here, I could start farming. And then maybe also with this edge up here. But I do need to lay down more houses up here. Let's see how many 11 by 11s I want. Okay, so with 4 11 by 11s there, I think then it would be a good idea to have some storage barns, like right there. And then I can continue going downwards with more 11 by 11s. And this way it's not just like I have non-interrupted farms just everywhere. Rather, these farms do have a place to go to take their storage. As long as each of the farms manages to hit about 500 food, though, I think that should be good enough, and it should warrant using farms as opposed to using gathering huts and hunting cabins. I think my apple inventory is actually starting to go down. I could, I suppose, try to make ales out of a few other materials. What's my alcohol? Production is a little bit over usage, so it should be going up. And I mean, I know I'm using a lot of it for trade. Which reminds me, I wanted to try something. So, I know that the purchase orders will affect, you know, what gets purchased in what order. But I'm also curious as to whether or not it'll affect what gets sold in what order. Because I remember I was griping a while ago about, oh, I want alcohol to be sold before firewood is sold. So, alcohol in front of fuel. Does that do it? No. It doesn't seem to. Firewood is still the first thing in the list. So let me try dumping the firewood store on this trading post and let them take it out and put it somewhere else. Okay, so now I see ale's the only thing. Now if I put back the firewood store, how does that work? Nope, firewood is still first. I suppose I could try to take it out and let them, like, actually take it from the building. But I'll need to pin that so that I can do other stuff while they're doing that. Once that building is cleared, though, I'll come back to it and see if I can't get it to sell ale before it sells firewood in order to buy other goods, you know? And I'm hoping I can figure that out and make that work the way I'm intending it to. Well, if anything can be said, it's that doing all of this farming will clear out some forests that I'm not using. I suppose I could use to increase the number of hunters and foresters and all that just to its maximum. Because with the fact that I have extra labor, it's just... there's no reason not to. I'm almost actually back up to 600,000 food. Huh. It might have just been a bad round of trading then that brought me down. Because, I mean, nobody was really gathering midwinter, so what sense would that make? Let's see. Used is up to 320,000 now. And produced is only, like, rising to 50,000 at best. So this isn't a story of, oh, I started producing a whole bunch more food. That has to be from trading. And I guess correspondingly, if you look over at my resources, yeah, it does look like it's from trading because I lost a lot of firewood, as well as a good bit of my log count. Alright, well, hopefully we can change some things and we can make a turnaround on my current food count, because I think it is going down. It doesn't seem to be going down as worryingly fast as I thought it was, but it's still going down. Okay, so get an 11 by 11 right here. And that fits perfectly. And then I can throw down some housing right here. I can't get one with that last little slot, unfortunately. And these feel like they're pretty far stretched out. Like I'm not expecting much out of those ones. Well, I do have a few orchards now. And I really should try to use orchards more often. Oh, well, now we have a little bit of a forested area over here. Wonder if that's... Oh, no, that's barely touched the herbalist. I mean, the herbalist is all the way over here. Still, I wonder why this forester hasn't tried to plant anything over here yet. That seems kind of weird to me. Because, I mean, this area is definitely... I mean, it's not a huge area, but there's definitely open space. It doesn't make sense, considering that it hopefully is accessible. The forester wouldn't choose that area to plant some stuff in. I guess what I could do... First off, I don't need that anymore. I think the footprint's just a little bit too large to set it down anywhere where it could be useful. Unless, of course, I take out the herbalist itself. I would have to take out the herbalist for it to work proper. Although, I guess I could take out just one of these woodcutters. I don't have an issue with that. And then I had one down here. Yep. And these trees aren't mature yet, but you can see it's got a bit of foliage cover. So that's nice. So go ahead and remove that, and once it's out of there, I'll throw down an herbalist. Down to 560,000 food again. Whew. Oh, I didn't realize I had 2 fields over here to plant. And what about my population numbers? Oh, wow. I guess this recent round of disease has actually been hitting me kind of hard. Because even though I've been expanding my housing numbers, it appears that I've lost a good number of citizens. I don't know. It is quite surprising to see my food count going down like this, though. And my population count going down with it. I figured if my food count was going down, my population would still be going up. So I guess I really, really messed up in bringing in those immigrants. I'm not too worried about. I think I see a small decline in my clothing count too, but I'm not too worried about that. I think that's mostly due to this section of town over here not having enough materials. I wonder if actually I'm out of wool. Inventories. Holy crap, yeah. Believe it or not, I am like out of wool. And yet I have a lot of these places purchasing textiles. This might be the decline of the city then. With 70 some trading ports, I could only get this far, I guess. Well, that's kind of depressing, actually. I thought the city was going to get further. I thought, honestly, that it could get all the way to 4K, because I have a lot of space to expand into. But I'm definitely seeing a decline here. It's really challenging, because I don't want to, like, expand my population, knowing that I have this food decline going on. But at the same time, I feel like if I don't expand my population, I'm going to be screwed over. It's a very frustrating situation. I mean, I don't want to be into a constant population decline, because that eventually will lead me down a death spiral due to the fact that I'm sure I'll have people stop having children and all that. Or I just won't have enough people that they're reproducing. And for the first time I can look at my population and see a significant decrease. I guess, actually, in terms of 1 year, it doesn't look like a decrease. It doesn't really look like a decrease at all. It's just I'm looking at the numbers and I knew it was up at 2,700. I suppose those numbers could come back. So this guy managed to trade out, or these guys managed to trade out their entire inventory in order to get food. It's good to see. And the only thing I could do and change there is increase their inventory counts. And yet I know that I don't have enough stuff to keep those counts going. Holy crap. A merchant that doesn't have custom orders? If I go through my merchants and find out again that the issue I'm having is just not enough custom orders, I'm going to be kind of pissed at myself. Yeah, I might be able to save my ass if I could permanently tell all of these seed merchants and all of these livestock merchants to stop coming. Sometimes you have to do the little things. So last winter, it seemed like I got back up to 600k. Let's see how far down I am when this winter rolls around. And I suppose I'm also not getting much because these orchards do take time to plant and start actually producing stuff. Like 3 to 5 years, I think, usually. I imagine it's just a factor of the fact that my builders are so far away. They can't really expedite that process. I also want... I think I could make another foresting node right there. And my clothes just dipped below 3,000. Hooray! For once in a long, long time, it seems like I can actually collect some stone and iron outcroppings. That has been a while. There's still some available over here. Actually, a good lot available over here. Sometimes I don't know why I set up areas like this. Because, I mean, I know this area has, or will take a lot more food than it's producing. I mean, what, with 2 little fisheries and 2 farms? It's not going to produce over maybe 2,000-3,000 food a year. And I've got it all set up, like, you know, it's some big deal. I also don't know why I have that road, like, offset by 1. That doesn't make too much sense. If I can manage to get a few more farms over down here, I think we'd be good. And I feel like the nice thing about farms is usually you can, even if you fuck up where you're placing them, you can usually relocate them and find a better place. Yeah, maybe I do need to carefully sift through my traders and see who's bringing what. So I haven't done that in a long while. I feel like that's especially important, though, for the general good merchants who can bring like 18,000 of a food resource. I am surprised to hell. I thought I marked this thing for removal like years ago, and yet it is still just standing there. It also appears that a lot of these storage barns have next to nothing in them. That's a sad sight. Alright, I'm going to increase priority on this baby, like 5 times. There you go. Maybe that'll make them work. Alright, well now that I have these fields established, might be able to expect a few more 1,000 food per year. I just don't like producing my own food. It usually feels too unstable. They managed to remove these roads right quick, but that storage barn that's been sitting up there for many moons is still well intact. Sometimes I swear the builders are just fucking with me. Yeah, I don't get why they won't take this thing out. I wonder if it's like a glitch that it's still there. I also really am kind of kicking myself for the way I set up this area. It just doesn't look none too good. I almost want to clear out all these houses and just start replacing them.